on FM 96.9 The Game. Hello, I'm the announcer, and there's a serious problem. Apparently, some of you can't listen to our entire shows, either because you're at work or you're having elective surgery, or you accidentally filled your ears with cement. It's okay, I understand. Happened to me once. Well, there's a solution. You can listen to our shows whenever you want. Just search your favorite show and then on demand wherever you get your podcasts. You're welcome. WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Facebook.com/969 The Game.
Time to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are loud. We are live. We are local in Orlando and in Jacksonville every morning, 6 to 9 a.m. with so many ways to listen to us and watch us. You can listen to us on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, HD 101.1-2. That's just in Orlando. In Jacksonville, you can hear us on AM 930. You can also listen on your phone by downloading that free iHeartRadio app. You can listen to us on podcast. If you don't hear us live, just go to 969thegame.com/podcast. Look for Open Mic and Open Mic on Demand. And you can also watch us on Twitter, on Twitch, and on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, just search for the Open Mic live stream, and you will be able to find us. Welcome to Open Mic. I'm Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. I see Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect. He's right over there. And then, of course, Austin Pistolka, the man we call the Sultan of Sound. He's right over there.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. I'm right here, and I'm going to cheap plug myself right now. I'll hit the button for you. I'm really excited because episode 1 of the Stash and Beard Show is up on YouTube right now. I'm really excited.
Nobody knows what the Stash and Beard Show is, so why don't you go ahead and tell them real quick.
All right, real quick. Stash and Beard Show is myself and my friend Alan, who's a professional powerlifter, owner of a gym, and we talk about fitness, and we talk about life, and we talk about having a good time, and we swear, and it's not safe for work. We have a good time that sort of way. It's a video. It's great. Go check it out, Stash and Beard Show. I'll be tweeting it out soon.
Couple of lunkhead alarm here. Lunkhead alarm.
Go. That's right, brother.
Have you seen the video of him doing some sort of squatting the other day?
No.
Which one?
Yeah, I don't. It looked like you were gonna. I'm like, I thought you might like turn inside out.
Yeah.
I like he's like
I took 472 for a ride. My squat face is ugly, brother.
It's the worst. Honestly, like I was watching.
Probably farting while he's trying to squat.
Hey, it takes every little ounce of moving upwards to get up some big weights.
Let me tell you that. If I had to look like that by doing anything, I wouldn't do anything impressive at that point. I was impressed that you were able to squat that much weight, but if I had to, if that is what my face looked like while I was doing it, I would never do that ever again.
That video's on Instagram at Radio Guy Austin on IG.
All right, we want to hear from you guys throughout the course of the show. Why is that? Because we are the people's show. We actually take calls the old-fashioned way. Give us a telephone call, 407-916-8255. You can always tweet us at 96.9 The Game or at The Game Jacks, and you can text us on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line. That's 50857. 3 times during the morning, you'll have a chance to win $1,000. We just started our new Dash for Cash. The holidays are over. The bills are piling up. It's time to make a dash for cash. Again, we've got your chance to win $1,000 12 times per day, 3 times during our show. 7:10 a.m. is when it starts, then 8:10 a.m., 9:10 a.m., and then on throughout today your chance to win $1,000. Make an appointment. That's called appointment radio right there. If you make an appointment, that means you're listening. That means our ratings go up. That's why we give away cash, all right?
Well,
That's
why are you
we
giving
do.
the inside baseball? We're doing this
What?
out of the kindness, out of our own
Whatever.
heart.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Mike.
we are doing that. Huh?
Jeez.
All right. Guest today, Steve Clifford, Orlando Magic coach, going to join us at 8:15 a.m. He will give us his early season franchise state of the franchise report. That'll be at 8:15. Adam Shadoff will join us at 8 a.m. this morning. But we like to begin every show with the open mic early morning inspirational quote of the day. This comes from the American entrepreneur, the great Leah Busk, founder of TaskRabbit, who once said, and I quote, "I wake up every morning and think to myself, how far can I push this company in the next 24 hours? Yeah. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that one she's got, pretty much nailed down.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I understand it.
Yeah. How far can we push iHeartMedia the next 24 hours? That's what we're going to do today, at least for the next 3 hours. We're going to push iHeartMedia to the top over the next 3 hours. So let's do that. And let's begin with a little Orlando Magic music, please.
Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Orlando Magic.
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, beware.
Who's going to get you?
Bum, bum, bum.
Boom. Hey, the Orlando Magic last night, 2-game losing streak. It ended last night. Aaron Gordon, 13 of his season high, 24 in the third quarter as the Magic beat the Cavs 103-83. If only they could play the Cavs all the time. They've beaten the Cavs now 5 straight. Nick Vucevic, the only other starter to reach double figures, he had 23 points last night for the Magic, who trailed for only 1 minute, 24 seconds of the second half. They led the rest of the way. Let's hear some Magic sound.
Gordon with daylight. They got to be thinking, we saw the scouting report. He was 3 for 20 coming into the game. Aaron Gordon is 6 of 8 tonight from beyond the three-point line. Vucevic on the trail. Drills it for 3. Well, that's nice. Vooch and Fultz have a really good feel for that trail 3 for Nikola.
Aaron Gordon was great. Bruce played another really good game, but the other guy who was obviously terrific was Kem Birch. Protecting the paint, traffic rebounding, and again, another great screening game. And in the second half, I thought he was really terrific.
Kem Birch. I like Kem Birch. He doesn't get nearly enough credit. Kem Birch, 12 points last night, career high 12 rebounds. And by the way, there was a Mo Bamba sighting last night.
What?
Mo Bamba entered the game with, it was probably about 4 minutes left in the game. He grabbed a couple of rebounds, handed out an assist. That was his first action of the season. So Mo Bamba, and again, I love Kem Birch, obviously a great role player. Mo Bamba, he has to become the backup center this year, does he not? Doesn't he have to supplant Kem Birch as the backup center?
Absolutely, he needs to do that. We've been wanting him to, no offense to Vooch, but we've wanted him to become a star. We wanted him to become bigger than just a backup center. We wanted him to be the guy. And
I'll settle for backup center right now.
Right now?
Okay.
Right now you'll take backup center?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
I'll take beating out Kem Birch, Adam Reardon. Is that I know that's not a lofty goal, but I'll take that right now out of Mo Bamba.
Well,
just beat out Kem Birch.
What was Mo Bamba? What pick in the draft did they get Mo Bamba?
Sixth, I think. I think he was sixth.
Yeah, I think that normally when you draft a guy in the lottery like that, when you draft a guy in the top 10 like that, the bare bones minimum of what you expect in a return is at least beat up a backup that most other teams have never heard of.
So anyway, the Magic 5-2 now. You guys missed the red hot start. You guys were off last week when the Magic were off to a 4-0 start. Then of course they lost 2 in a row, and now they've won. So they are 5-2 right now. Again, Aaron Gordon looked really good last night. I wrote a season preview in the Orlando Sentinel. You can probably still get that if you want to go to the Orlando Sentinel and read my season preview of the Magic. There you go. All right, so what I wrote was, all right, this is what has to happen if the Magic hope to not only make the playoffs, but make a little noise in the playoffs, because there was not much hope for the Magic season before the season. Everybody, all the national scribes and national media were picking them 10th or lower in the Eastern Conference. So I listed a bunch of things that had to happen if the Magic hope to have higher expectations than that. And one of the things I wrote is that Aaron Gordon must be known for something other than finishing second in the dunk contest. All right. That he needs to elevate his game to a point. And again, I'm not saying he needs to become a superstar. That's probably not going to happen. But he needs to be a really good player who's known for being a basketball player and not a dunk contest runner-up. So hopefully that's beginning to happen. Again, it's one game last night, but he did look really good last night. Can Aaron Gordon take it to another level, or is he what he is?
Oh, to me, this is. I feel like deja vu all over again. Aaron Gordon has a game that has everybody go, now this is what I'm talking about. This is the step I need to see him take, and he takes that step, but then takes steps back for 5 or 6 games. Then he'll show you this one more time. His inconsistency at being good, a really good basketball player, has to be extremely frustrating, because when you see it, you go, hey, why not do this again? Why not do this 4 out of 5 nights as opposed to once every 6 nights? And that's the issue. And so for me, this isn't like we're dealing with a small sample size with Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon's going to do this for you. Once every 5 to 6 games is going to give you a game where you go, hey, more of this, please. But I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, Magic also dealing with injuries, as always. Evan Fournier missed the game last night. He's still trying to recover from back spasms. Of course, Chuma Okeke, he's out now. He's got a knee contusion and is out indefinitely. So, again, not good news for Chuma Okeke, who, of course, spent all of last season, which was his rookie season. He spent all of last season rehabbing a knee that he blew out in college, and now that same knee, although not the same injury, that same knee has been hurt again, and who knows when Chuma Okeke will be back. Obviously, Jonathan Isaac's not going to be back this year, so the Magic's still dealing with injury issues. All right, straight ahead. The media got duped by a fake Twitter report yesterday about Dan Mulling interviewing for an NFL job. How do I know this? Because I was a part of it. That's next on Open Mic.
This is Markel Folks of the Orlando Magic. When it comes to sports radio, Open Mic is my #1 overall pick.
The bottom line is we all want to stay in football. We just don't have the time or the energy anymore to do the day-to-day stuff. And he had such a great career, and he moved up, and he seems to be very happy in the role he's in now.
That was John Elway yesterday. John Elway announced that, he's no longer going to be making the day-to-day decisions when it comes to the Denver Broncos because, he doesn't really have time. He's 60 years old. He has 8 grandkids. He wants to do something, he wants to spend his time doing something else, but he's still going to be the president of the Denver Broncos, all right? But he's hired a GM to actually do all the work. Here's my question, all right? If you're 60 years old and you don't think you have time to do the job that you were hired to do, then why don't you just freaking quit?
Because he's making that money. Making that cash money, brother.
The guy's a multi-millionaire. He's got car dealerships in Denver. He doesn't really need. Does he just want to have a skybox? Is that what he wants?
Well,
he just wants to watch the game from the skybox.
You know what it probably is that it's not necessarily that he wants to stay with Denver. It's that Denver wants him to stay with them. Because John Elway is a big name, and so John Elway can bring in people that otherwise wouldn't be interested in the Broncos.
You mean like Peyton Manning, however many years ago that was?
Well, sure, but I mean like
he hasn't done anything since then. He hasn't done anything since he brought in Peyton Manning. Okay.
Well, clearly he said I don't want to be a part of this anymore, so he's leaving, but he's still the name.
I'm just going to step down and still draw a paycheck is essentially what he said.
And then when Denver's like, all right, we need to really show up and show out. Hey, we've already paid you, John. Get out here. Wave for the crowd.
I'm going to make a lot more money than the guy who's actually doing all the work. Good Lord.
Man, I wonder where that happens, Mike.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I do wonder that. Anyway, all right, so I go on Brandon Kravitz's radio show every Monday, of course, In the Zone. That's the afternoon show right here on FM 96.9 The Game and AM 740. Brandon Kravitz and Stefan, they do a great job, all right? So listen to them in the afternoon, all right? So there's my plug for them. So when I'm on the show yesterday, Monday, it's about 4 o'clock yesterday, so Kravitz hits me with a question that I had no idea about. So, I was scrambling to try to, answer the question. Here's what it sounded like.
I'm seeing a report out of Atlanta that the Falcons are expected to interview Dan Mullen via Zoom. Do you think this is just sort of a, let's check our boxes for the Falcons, let's interview a bunch of candidates, or do you think he legitimately might not be the Gator coach next year?
See, but if I'm a franchise and I'm going to hire Dan Mullen, it's going to be it would be like the Jaguars. You got a young quarterback. You want to develop a young quarterback. Dan Mullen is renowned for developing quarterbacks. That's enough. My answer is really not important. The fact that Kravitz brought that up and I had no idea about it is what is important. So, after I get off the air, I'm like, man, this is a big story. Dan Mullen interviewing for the Falcons job. I may have to change. I may have to write a column about this in the Orlando Sentinel. So I'm Googling this yesterday. I'm looking on, getting on all the Gator beat reporters, Edgar Thompson, checking his Twitter account, find out what's going on. Last night, I'm doing the same thing. And this morning, finally, all right, I Google and I see some report. Where'd you say it was? Outkick the coverage, Austin?
Yeah, on Outkick.com. I was able to finally find something in reference to this tweet, this report. It's insane.
Yeah, so I think the media, including us, Kravitz, myself, I think we all got duped.
Speak for yourself. I wasn't duped at all, brother.
Yeah, well, you didn't even know about it. But
you saw right through me.
I guess there was a fake account posing as the Atlanta Falcons beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Adam, do you know anything about this?
I actually saw it like go across my timeline on Twitter, but I didn't really think anything of it because, I was like, well, the rumor or there's people that have mentioned his name for the Jets job and just sort of, this is what this time of year is all about. All these NFL coaches get fired, and then who are you going to replace him with? And we talked about earlier this season about Dan Mullen potentially at NFL jobs. Remember how we talked about him potentially in Dallas where he could reunite with Dak Prescott? So hearing Dan Mullen's name for NFL jobs doesn't sound wrong to me.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, so it's not like, it's not like I saw that and go, wait a minute, that's ridiculous.
And the Twitter handles are very similar.
And when the season ended, you can see where Dan Mullen and Mike, as well as anybody who's been around the Florida program, that pressure there, it's maybe not Notre Dame pressure. It may not be Alabama pressure. It may not be Michigan pressure, but it's at the next level down. That is a pressure cooker for a college football program, and we've seen it eat other coaches up. And the way that this season went, some of his comments, the recruiting violations, the other things he's had to deal with, wouldn't shock me if that guy was interested in having a Zoom meeting with an NFL team willing to pay about $10 million for his services.
No, it wouldn't shock me, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't true. So, and that's what I want to use as a jumping off point for our spontaneous text question.
Spontaneous text question of the day.
Gosh, I'm rusty.
All right, so this was as you guys just mentioned, this is the time of year for coaching rumors. So this was sort of a mini hoax, all right? A mini hoax, if you will. Some people got duped by it. I think Feinbaum may have even got duped by this little mini hoax yesterday, although we couldn't find a clip of him actually talking about it.
I'm sure that's been deleted. I'm sure that they edited that out of the podcast. I'm sure they're like, we can't let this be real.
So here is our spontaneous text question. We want hoaxes, classic all-time hoaxes, sports hoaxes maybe that you bit on. I don't remember when this was, and I'm not really into all the social media stuff, but wasn't there a hoax about Justin Bieber going bald at one point?
Oh, probably, because that's one of that's one of his go-to styles is the hair, and so for him, we went through stress and all that sort of stuff. I can see how. Well,
I think there was a hoax that he had cancer and was losing his hair, and other people, like Justin Bieber fans, actually started shaving their head
as a sign of solidarity.
Wow. Yeah, as a sign of solidarity for Justin Bieber. I believe that was a hoax at one point.
You know how many times Jackie Chan has been hoaxed as dead? So many times.
Oh,
there was some actress in recent days. I think her name's Tanya Roberts, who was reported dead.
One of the Bond girls, right?
Yeah. She was reported dead. In fact, I think it was her boyfriend who released the information that she was dead, and it turns out he left her in the hospital. He thought she was dead.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why does your tweet location say casino? She's dead. Oh, wait, she's not? Hey, do you remember this one? And this one was sports related. Do you remember that Drew Brees was in a car accident, a really bad car accident one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the big one. Like his legs were all messed up, and like his career was over. And that came out of nowhere. I think that was probably that was the test run for hey, let me see what I can put out on Twitter and see what we can get people to retweet like it's fact. That was on Facebook. That was on Twitter. That was everywhere.
But let's not forget the biggest hoax of all. Manti Te'o's girlfriend.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right, hoaxes. Text those in to 50857. Up next, this isn't a hoax. Urban Meyer reportedly wants $12 million a year to come out of retirement and coach the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is that too much money? I don't think so. That's next on Open Mic.
Open Mic. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Sorry. Extremely sorry.
Don't be sorry, Tim Tebow. I'm certainly not sorry that I have a Safe Touch home security system. Why do I have a Safe Touch system? Because I'm telling you, these ding-dong do-it-yourself doorbell cameras are having major issues once again, with one well-known doorbell company recalling 350,000 video doorbells due to fire hazard. That's 350,000, not 350, by the way. This is, again, why I have a Safe Touch system, which, by the way, comes complete with a professionally installed and monitored doorbell camera. You do not have to worry about Safe Touch's video doorbells starting a fire or getting hacked. And believe me, they are the best technology out there. You know, you're not really saving any money with these do-it-yourself alarm systems either. You're only putting your family in harm's way. Do-it-yourself alarms are designed to be installed by anyone. And if I can install something, that means it's easily hacked, easily bypassed. That leaves your family vulnerable to the creeps and the bad guys. So do what I did. Go to safetouch.com. That's safetouch.com for a system you can trust at a price you can afford. State license EF233.
the rumor of Urban Meyer. Obviously, you know, I've known Urban over the years through Big Ten and what have you, and but you know, we've not spoken to anyone about this job or obviously interviewed him. I mean, this is something. It's just, you know, made the decision this morning. So, you know, there's, and I'll leave it at that.
I don't know if I believe that, Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if I believe that you haven't talked to anybody about your job opening just yet. Obviously, the Jaguars fired Doug Marrone yesterday as head coach, and the rumors and rumblings and reports are that Urban Meyer is already talking to staff, trying to put a staff together just in case he takes the head coaching job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's being reported by Pro Football Talk. Who's the guy who does that website? Mike Florio, I think his name is. Mike Florio is reporting that Urban Meyer is seeking $12 million a year to come out of retirement and coach the Jacksonville Jaguars. $12 million a year. I think that would probably make him the second highest paid coach in the league behind Bill Belichick, who makes probably around $20 million a year to coach the New England Patriots. All right. So $12 million a year for Urban Meyer, as I wrote in my column at the Orlando Sentinel, which you can read at orlandosentinel.com. Pay the man whatever the hell he wants. All right. Yeah, cheap plug. Pay him whatever he wants, all right? Urban Meyer would be a phenomenal get for the Jacksonville Jaguars. In fact, Adam Reardon, I went back a decade, all right? Actually, I went back 11 years to January 13th, 2010, almost exactly 11 years ago, and I wrote a column in the Orlando Sentinel, all right? And the column was this: Meyer, Tebow would be Jag's salvation. All right. So 11 years ago, I said the Jaguars should make a run at Urban Meyer. If you'll remember 11 years ago, at the end of the 2010 season, Urban Meyer was, you know, looked gaunt, looked burned out. He was just lost the SEC championship game to Alabama. He'd resigned, and then he'd unresigned. Tebow was leaving, and Urban Meyer was running out of gas at the University of Florida, all right? And he saw that his program was maybe coming apart a little bit, and Urban Meyer wanted out of UF. In fact, he tried to resign, but then Jeremy Foley, the AD at the time, talked him out of it, and they brought him back, which probably was a mistake because he came back for one more year, which was a forgettable year by Gator standards, and then they ended up, Urban Meyer ended up stepping down to spend more time with his family, and then a few months later, he was coaching at Ohio State. All right, so my idea back then was that the former Jaguars owner Wayne Weaver should make a run at Urban Meyer and say, listen, you can bring Tim Tebow and your spread offense to the NFL. You'll have a new challenge, all of that. Of course, that didn't happen. Tebow ended up getting drafted by the Broncos. Urban Meyer ended up at Ohio State. Can you imagine 10, 11 years ago if the Jaguars had at least tried that? I mean, it would have saved them a lot of misery. They would have, again, I don't know if Tebow running a spread offense in the NFL 11 years ago, I don't know if that would have worked. It's certainly working in some form today. But, I mean, the Jaguars over the years, they've gone through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles, Chad Henne, Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew. They've gone through a plethora of coaches that just lackluster coaches, from Mike Mularkey to Jack Del Rio to Gus Bradley. Why did they stick with Gus Bradley for so long, by the way? Doug Marrone, of course, the most recent coach. But anyway, now 11 years later, they may hire Urban Meyer. And I want to just refute a couple of things about Urban Meyer real quick, all right? There's this thought out there, Adam, that Urban Meyer Oh, he couldn't even handle losing in college. How would he handle losing in the NFL? All right. Do people really think Urban Meyer is so stupid? I mean, in college football, if you lose a game, you're out. Sometimes you're out of the picture. You're out of the national championship. That's what happened when they played Alabama in the SEC championship game back in 2010. They lost the game, and that was it. They were out of the hunt. All right. In the NFL, I think Urban Meyer's smart enough to know I don't have to win every game, right?
Yeah, he knows that. But what I think he would struggle with, and you know, maybe I'm gonna get some flack for saying this. You know the old adage, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Mm-hmm. Whenever the going's gotten tough for Urban, he's gotten gone. And so what my issue with Urban would be this, not that you're going to lose a game in the NFL. It's that, hey, listen, how many 4-12 seasons in a row could he possibly stomach? How many five and 11?
Hold on right there.
Yeah.
First of all, if he has too many 4-12 seasons, they're gonna fire him.
No. What, he'd quit. No, he'd quit. That's my biggest issue is that
and they would be happy that he quit. If he puts together 4-12 seasons, they're gonna be happy that he quit.
If he goes 4-12 and then 5-11 in 2 straight years, and people start going, man, this Urban Meyer's not as good a coach as we once thought he would, that would bother the hell out of him, and he would quit. That's just my feelings on Urban is when things get a little tough. That he goes, hey, listen, I'm getting out of here. My legacy is threatened.
Okay, but I get what you're saying. But again, if any NFL coach goes 4-12 and 5-11 in 2 straight years, you're not going to have to quit.
Doug Marrone didn't quit. I'm telling you, Urban would quit like he has at every other stop.
But I'm saying in most organizations, when that happens, they want you to quit if you go back-to-back seasons like that. Here's the other thing about Urban Meyer. Yes, he may quit when the going gets tough, but guess what? The going only gets tough with Urban Meyer, at least his track record, after he's won championships. All right? He did it at Ohio State. He won a championship very early. Probably could have won 2 if they hadn't been on probation that first year. He did it at Florida early. I don't care if he quits 4 years in if he's won a championship.
The other thing that Urban's really good at, and he did in college, and the reason why he won a couple of championships, is that he's been really smart about picking good jobs to walk into right away. Remember, he chose Florida over his dream job at Notre Dame. You know why? Because Ron Zook left the cupboards absolutely full for a national championship run.
Jim Tressel,
same way. The Jacksonville Jaguars aren't the NFL equivalent right now of that 06 Florida football team that he would take over.
No, but I would disagree with you. I think the Jaguars' job is a great job. When you look, they have 4 of the top 50 draft picks. They have the number 1 overall draft pick. They have like $85 million in salary cap space. The Jaguars can turn it around very quickly through free agency and through the draft. So I would disagree with you. I think this is the type of job that Urban Meyer would walk into because he knows he's going to have a chance to get a lot of talent very quickly. But anyway, our thought-provoking daily poll is this. Should the Jacksonville Jaguars pay Urban Meyer $12 million a year to come out of retirement? I say yes. Adam, where do you stand on this?
I think it would sell tickets. I think it would get the fan base excited. So for the here and now, like for tomorrow, yes, but I think 3 years from now that it would be a forgettable and regrettable experience.
So I'm going to say you're saying no on this.
Okay, I'll say no.
So you're saying no. I'm saying yes. All right. Straight ahead, we will continue this conversation about which NFL job is the best job out there. Also, should the Heisman Trophy voting take into account the college football playoffs? That's next on Open Mic. Open Mic, the best radio show in town. Isn't that right, Urban Meyer?
I think your facts are not surprisingly incorrect.
We were just talking about you, Urban Meyer, but now I'm going to talk about gift giving. I'm not talking about the holiday gift giving. That's done with, but it's never too late to give a gift. We have Valentine's Day coming up, obviously birthdays, graduation. If you're looking for the perfect sports gift, my good friend Nancy is a huge sports fan. She used to run a quilt shop in Winter Garden. I've told you that closed during the pandemic. Now she decided, I'm going to make sports gifts. She creates them. She sews them. She quilts them. She makes personalized custom sports gifts. If you go to nancylovesports.com, you can browse her personalized sports towels, team pillows, gift bags, face masks. She has sports onesies for, if you have a little baby or you want to give, a relative's baby a gift. Again, go to nancylovesports.com. If you don't see what you're looking for, send her a message and she will customize just the right thing for you. That's nancylovesports.com. Your first chance at $1,000 is coming up at 7:10 a.m. this morning, right after this segment of radio that we are about to do. You will have a chance to win $1,000. We do it 12 times per day. We started it yesterday. It's going to go on for the next few weeks, so make an appointment. 7:10 a.m., 8:10 a.m., 9:10 a.m. during our show, and then on throughout the day on the 10s. You'll have a chance to win $1,000. Our spontaneous text question of the day is in dishonor of some of the media who got duped yesterday into thinking that Dan Mullen had interviewed for or was going to interview for the Atlanta Falcons job via a Zoom call today. That was posted on a fake Twitter account yesterday as somebody who was posing as the beat reporter for the Atlanta Falcons for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And our spontaneous text question is famous hoaxes or just hoaxes that maybe you fell for or just hoaxes in general. Somebody just texted in. The deceptive intellect might know about this. I'm wondering if Austin Pistolka has ever heard of the famous War of the World. War of the World hoax.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that a lot in journalism college.
What do you know about that, Pistolka?
Well, they did a reading of War of the Worlds on radio, but they didn't tell anyone except for at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning they told them.
They told people at the beginning this is a reading of War of the Worlds, but guess what? People weren't able to hear the beginning necessarily, so people just tuned into their radio and started hearing this mass chaos. This news report that they thought was a news report but wasn't.
Yeah. So, that was back in, I think it was back in the 30s at some point. And Orson Welles was the guy who was doing the reading of the War of the Worlds, and everybody thought that Earth was under attack by Martians.
Caused real widespread panic.
Yeah, although that wasn't really a hoax. That was just a
misunderstanding.
Right? Yeah.
Greatest inadvertent hoax of all time. Could you imagine, like in that day and age where all the information you probably got was on the radio, and like you would have no reason to believe that anything they said on the radio wasn't true.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as fake news back then. This must have been the original fake news. Like your neighbor coming to bang on your door. Oh my God, Sarah,
quick, turn on the radio.
Sarah, you're not going to believe this, but there's Martians coming. Oh my God, quick, get in the cellars.
What do we do?
Get in the cellar. What? Like it's a tornado.
Yeah, well, I mean,
what are you going to do when the aliens
Martians
come?
are coming from up there? I'm getting as far down here as I can go.
Anyway, keep those coming in. 50857. What about the here's a sports hoax, or was it a hoax? The naked Jim McElwain photo on the dead shark.
It's a great one.
Huh?
That's a great one.
I know that.
Do you think that was a hoax?
Wait, time out. You didn't hear Austin? Austin goes, I don't think I know that one.
I don't think I know that
Were you in a coma during the time that Jim McElwain was the head coach at Florida? You don't remember?
Well, he wasn't living here then. No, he wasn't living here then.
Oh, you just recently?
Yeah,
okay.
I've only been here. I've been here a little bit longer than Dan Mullen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll give you a pass.
That was more of a regional, although that sort of became a national thing, didn't it?
Yeah. So there was a picture of some guy on some shark. Yeah, go look for it.
Just Google naked Jim McElwain on a shark.
All right, I'm definitely gonna put that into the iHeart computers.
Yeah, there was a guy who looked exactly like Jim McElwain. He was naked on a dead shark in a fishing boat. And
whoa.
And again, I'm not so sure that wasn't McElwain.
It definitely wasn't McElwain.
What?
No, it definitely wasn't McElwain.
Why do you say that?
I'm okay. I'm 99% sure that it wasn't.
But why?
Because I thought that guy was fatter than Jim McElwain. Yeah, it's not that Jim McElwain was in great shape, but the guy who was on top of that shark was quite large.
Okay. All right. Again, I don't know that it wasn't Jim McElwain, or I don't know that it was Jim McElwain. Dave Ping, who used to do TV in Orlando, claims that he found the real guy who was on the Shark. So anyway, that was one of the great so-called hoaxes of University of Florida lore. Anyway,
I got one for you, and this was as a Miami Hurricane fan, I remember this one like it was yesterday when Lane Kiffin was coming. Excuse me, I'm sorry. John Gruden was coming to Miami. He was hired. The players, the famous quote for Miami fans was the players have been notified. Players have been notified that John Gruden is the next head coach at the University of Miami. And we were like so excited. We were like, John Gruden's going to be a coach at Miami. And
was that a hoax or was that just a
terrible rumor? I mean, but,
no, was it reported though? Like by
yes, like
the Miami Herald or something.
I'd be willing to bet that that these website guys who have some pretty good ties to they got pretty good sources within the coaching staff started reporting it. And so it wouldn't shock me if the Miami Herald, Susan Miller Degnan or whoever, Barry Johnson, whoever, Jackson, maybe, got that and said, hey, this outlet is reporting this, and then put it in their papers. Wouldn't shock me if that was the case. I just remember that it was a done deal and the players were notified. John Gruden, next head coach at Miami.
That's funny. All right, keep those coming in. 50857 Heisman Trophy will be awarded tonight. Of course, the voting ended right after the conference championship games. Votes were due December the 21st. So none of the college football playoff games or bowl games are included. Kyle Trask. The thought is that Kyle Trask has gone from a front runner for that award to sort of an afterthought, and I'm not so sure about that. Again, I don't think he's going to win the award, but anybody who thinks, I think people just think, well, he had a terrible bowl game, therefore he's out of the running. The bowl game has nothing to do with it, all right? The fact that he lost in the SEC championship, or the LSU loss, I think really hurt Kyle Trask. And then losing to Alabama in the SEC championship game, I think one of the Alabama players is going to win it. A lot of people think Devonta Smith is the front runner. I'm not so sure about that either. I think he should be the front runner, but I think Mac Jones. This is just my guess, all right? I think Mac Jones is going to win the Heisman Trophy because, again, in that SEC championship game, if you'll remember, guys, before that game, everybody said, okay, whichever quarterback wins this game is going to win the award, right? Wasn't that the thought?
Yeah.
That was the thought, and Mac Jones won the game, threw for 418 yards. Now, a bunch of those yards came to Devonta Smith. I just think Mac Jones is going to win the Heisman Trophy. Maybe Devonta Smith finishes second, or maybe Devonta Smith finishes first and Mac Jones finishes second. But I think it's going to be Alabama 1-2, and then Kyle Trask third. That's how I think the voting's going to go.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, I saw where like Vegas odds, because you can gamble on this as you can gamble on just about anything. The number is so low for Devonta Smith that for me, Vegas isn't normally this wrong if they're going to be wrong on this. And so
they have Devonta Smith as a overwhelming favorite?
Overwhelming favorite.
Oh, really? Okay.
Overwhelming favorite.
Then that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they've done their research with Heisman voters, and I know you're not probably supposed to tip your hand as far as your ballot's concerned, but
that would, if that's what they say, then based on my ballot, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Ooh.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you're going to say, but you've said a lot, Mike.
But again, I said yesterday, I think Devonta Smith should win the Heisman. I mean, the guy has had a hell of a season. He's caught 16 touchdown passes in the last 7 games. He's been unbelievable. So again, I certainly wouldn't have any qualms.
By the way, I just looked it up here real fast for you. Devonta Smith, minus 5,000.
Oh my gosh.
So do that. You got to wager 5,000 to win 100.
Wow.
To bet on him, and then
Mac Jones?
He's at plus 470, which means you wager 100, you'd win 470. Trevor Lawrence at plus 900, and Kyle Trask now at plus 5,000.
Oh, that really hurt. Oh, man.
I totally disagree with some of those odds. And again, I may be way. I think Kyle Trask, again, he was at one point before the SEC, right around the LSU SEC championship game, he was the front runner. I don't think that he's going to fall below Trevor Lawrence. I just don't.
The LSU game took him away from being the front runner because you lost that LSU game, and then you had you can redeem yourself by beating Alabama and besting Mac Jones in that game, and he didn't do that either. And then we really got a strong push for Devontae Smith. So I think that's where they're at, and at minus 5,000. I mean, that is a pretty strong statement from Vegas that they feel pretty good about him. Being maybe what it is all these offensive numbers are so gaudy for these quarterbacks that they go like, look, clearly this is the best football player. Let's give it to this guy right here who's just been unbelievable this year as a wide receiver and as a kick returner.
All right, let's pause right now for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, FM 96.9 The Game, the home of Orlando City Soccer Club.
What you reading there, honey?
It's very exciting stuff, you see. It's the front page of the internet.
Here we go with the front page of the internet, the first front page of the internet of the year. I think hosted by me. I don't know if Stefan did it. No, we haven't been on. What is this? I'm going crazy. We start off over on YouTube's trending page, as we always do, where the #1 video on YouTube right now is some fight highlights from Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. What is this? I haven't watched it.
Okay, so this is a big fight this weekend. Ryan Garcia is a guy who's, what is he, like 18 or 19 years old, something like that. He's a big TikTok following.
Yeah.
Good-looking young kid, good power. He beat Luke Campbell this weekend in a lightweight matchup, 135 pounds. Knocked him out with a great body shot. Now, he got knocked down, I think, in the second round. Got caught with a left hook. Messed him up pretty good, but he battled back, ends up stopping him with a left hook to the body that was absolutely devastating, which now sets up, there's a lot of great fights at that 135-pound weight class. Devin Haney's probably the next fight for Ryan Garcia, and then the one everybody's trying to set up would be Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis, and if those two get in the ring together, sign me up. Can't wait.
Mike, this video has 7.2 million views, so it is.
Whoa!
Yeah, It is big time, brother. We have a celebrity birthday, of course. Happy birthday today to Bradley Cooper, star of Silver Linings Playbook, American Sniper, and American Hustle.
What? Why would you say all those and not say The Hangover?
You're right. He's also known for his role in The Hangover.
Oh my God! Like I'm saying, most of our listeners would go, "Oh, the dude from The Hangover,
Yeah.
the Hangover series, Silver Linings Playbook." What?
I was going down the list.
He's 48, by the way.
You're close.
At 46.
He's 46. Well done. He is 46 years old. Trending on Reddit. There are two things trending on Reddit that are interesting to me. First and foremost. We'll do that one second. First one is going to be The Great Gatsby has entered the public domain. So now various places can use it as a play. They can make movies out of it, all that sort of stuff. You know what the people want? They want a Muppets version of The Great Gatsby.
F. Scott Fitzgerald is rolling in his grave right now.
What the Great Gatsby animated series on Saturdays? That's what I want.
Yeah. And finally, the one that is near and dear to my heart, the one that I want to talk about the most, is that in Los Angeles and Dallas, Pizza Hut is introducing a ring of cheese stuffed dough called Nothing But Stuffed Crust. It's a stuffed crust pizza minus the pizza, just a ring of stuffed crust. I'm in for this. How do you guys feel?
Not me.
No?
Not me. And that would raise my triglycerides way too high.
It's like it was like an infinity mozzarella stick.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's a
what
ring
it
of
is.
mozzarella stick. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
that's exactly
thanks.
what it is. Here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold up to my camera a photo of it. On the 16-second delay, Mike, you can catch it. But
yeah, listen, it'll raise your triglycerides, Mike, and after you eat that, you won't go to the bathroom for 6 weeks.
Clog
All
you up
that
too,
cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
That's the front page of the internet.
Okay, I'm going to come to the defense once again of Doug Peterson, the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, real quick. And believe me, I have no horse in this race. I do not give a flying you-know-what about the Philadelphia Eagles, the New York Giants, any of those teams in the NFC least, all right? No rooting interest whatsoever, all right? In fact, I hate the Eagles. I hate the Giants. I hate the Washington football team. I don't like those teams in the NFC East, right? But Doug Peterson is just getting barbecued. Absolutely barbecued, the head coach of the Eagles. Why? Because he put in third-string quarterback Nate Sudfeld in the fourth quarter of a game on Sunday, all right? Nate Sudfeld. The Eagles were trailing by 3. He decides to put in Nate Sudfeld, and they end up losing the game. He pulled Jalen Hurts, puts in Nate Sudfeld. They end up losing the game, and afterwards, everybody's accusing Doug Peterson of throwing the game, of not coaching the win, that he was trying to improve the Eagles' draft status. In fact, Joe Judge, the head coach of the Giants, whose team would have made the playoffs if the Eagles had won that game, he had this to say yesterday.
We had a lot of people opt in to this season. We had a lot of people opt in. All right, coaches, players. That includes family members as well. To look at a group of grown men who I asked to give me effort on a day in, day out basis and to empty the tank, and then I can look them in the eye and assure them that I'm always going to do everything I can to put them at a competitive advantage and play them in a position of strength. To me, you don't ever want to disrespect those players and their effort and disrespect the game. The sacrifices that they made to come into work every day and test before coming in, to sit in meetings spaced out, to wear masks, to have shields over those masks, to go through extensive protocols, to travel in unconventional ways, to get text messages at 6:30 in the morning telling them practice is going to be canceled. We have to do a virtual day, okay, to tell them, please don't have your family over for Thanksgiving. Please avoid Christmas gatherings. We know it's your wife's birthday. Let's make sure we put that one off to the off season. There's a number of sacrifices been made by all the players and coaches in this league. There's a number of sacrifices that come along as well with the family members of the people connected to them. To disrespect the effort that everyone put forward to make this season a success for the National Football League, to disrespect the game by going out there and not competing for 60 minutes and doing everything you can to help those players win, we will never do that as long as I'm the head coach of the New York Giants.
Okay, so that was Joe Judge, defiant. Obviously, he's pointing fingers at Doug Peterson, saying he wasn't trying to win. He was disrespecting the game. This is a bunch of garbage. This is garbage. First of all, Joe Judge, win more than 6 games, and you wouldn't have to worry about the Philadelphia Eagles trying to win a game at the end of the season, all right, against another losing team. And what's the difference between Doug Peterson pulling out his second-team quarterback, who's only played a couple games, Jalen Hurts, and putting in Nate freaking Sudfeld, who, again, I don't even know who the hell that is, all right? What's the difference between that and the Steelers not playing their starters on Sunday, for crying out loud? What's the difference? The Steelers weren't playing the win. Were they disrespecting the game? Oh, no, they were resting for the playoffs. That's okay. That's okay to rest for the playoffs. It's okay for NBA players to, what's the term they use?
Load manage.
That's okay. Load management. That's not disrespecting the game. But because Doug Peterson puts in Nate Sudfeld with, a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, or however much time was left in the fourth quarter, that's disrespecting the game. Jalen Hurts, check out what he did in that game. 7 of 20 for 72 yards throwing the ball. Third quarter, when the Eagles offense was struggling mightily. You want to know what Jalen Hurts was? 2 of 8 for 8 yards. 2 of 8 for 8 yards. And what, Jalen Hurts has earned the right to finish the game, for crying out? Give me a break. Doug Peterson was just trying to create some sort of spark by throwing this guy Nate Sudfeld into what was a meaningless game for his team. He don't give a damn about the Giants. Why should he? He's just trying to create a spark for his team, and for everybody to pile on Doug Peterson saying he was trying to throw the game, I think it's a bunch of garbage.
Well,
garbage.
I'll say this, that I'm with you in this aspect, which is the Giants can't complain to me. I mean, when you put yourself in a position where you got to root for another team to win, that's because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain all season long. Where I disagree with you is that Doug Peterson was trying to win the football game, because we know that with American sports, that if you are not a playoff team, it is actually to your advantage to then lose as many games as possible. And in that moment, down 3, the quarterback who accounted for two of your touchdowns, the 2 touchdowns, you bench that guy and put in another guy who, isn't like he's a rookie and you don't know what you got. You know what you got in him, and that's the reason why he's the emergency or third-string quarterback. There's no way, and let me just say this.
Come on, Adam, you've watched football long enough to know that sometimes when you put a guy in the game, when the other guy's struggling, sometimes it creates a spark. Sometimes it does, whether the quarterback's as good as the other guy or not. Sometimes it creates the spark to have a new guy there. And obviously the Eagles offense was stinking it up.
Mike, if you ask the offensive linemen, if you ask the wide receivers on that team, if you ask the running backs on that team, do you feel like in that moment that Nate Sudfeld gave you the best chance to win, or bringing Jalen Hurts back out there? What do you think all those teammates would say, Mike?
I don't know.
The athletes, the guys who compete on every day.
Probably the offensive lineman would say we need to keep Jalen Hurts in because we can't block, and therefore Nate Sudfeld's going to get sacked a lot more than Jalen Hurts.
When Tennessee made their field goal to win the division, I saw a player from the Houston Texans laying on the ground, devastated that they lost that game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That really doesn't matter to them at all because they don't even have their first-round pick. And I go, those guys care about every single snap, every single, like, he did, that player didn't care that, our draft position, got better because.
First of all, that's made up. That's made up that he was playing for a draft position. Again, his offense was Are everybody just ignoring the fact that Jalen Hurts was stinking it up in the third quarter?
They were down 3.
Why
They
are
were
you
down
ignoring
3.
that they were down 3?
They
Why
were
are
down
you ignoring
3.
that they were
Listen, Mike,
in that game?
Mike, I'm with you.
Okay. If he was trying to lose the game,
yes,
all right. If he was trying to lose the game, why did he go for it when they were down near the goal line? They could have kicked the field goal. I think they were at the 2, and he went for it to try to go ahead. All right, instead of kicking the ball for the tie. No, he was trying to get ahead so he could win the game. Is what Doug Peterson was doing. Why did he do that? Why didn't he just kick the field goal and then put Nate Sudfeld in? No,
I think people have questioned that decision as like, hey, normally you would kick this field goal here, tie the ball game up. That's what you should do.
No, he was trying to win the game. He was trying to win the game. That's why he went for it. What? So there was some sort of a conspiracy theory that he was going to go for it and call a play that wasn't going to work. Is that what he was trying to do? Because if that's your thought, then I cannot win this argument. If you think he went for it not to make it, to go ahead on the scoreboard, then again, I don't understand how we can even have this argument.
Well,
all right, straight ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Straight ahead, it is the sound off. Maybe we'll have some more discussion on this next.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword, PAY, to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's PAY to 200-200.
Welcome back to Open Mic. We were just having a heated discussion about Doug Peterson. For some reason, I'm defending him, even though I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. People are saying he threw the game on Sunday and he was trying to lose. And Joe Judge, the head coach of the Giants, was talking about how he disrespected the game by pulling out a quarterback in the third quarter who was obviously struggling and putting in a guy who doesn't play very much, Nate Sudfeld, all right? And again, it didn't work out. Nate Sudfeld was pretty bad in that game, about as bad as Jalen Hurts was playing in the third quarter, except Nate Sudfeld can't run, so he was getting pressured relentlessly. Do we have a call on this?
We do. We got Thomas on line one.
Thomas.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? First of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
You, Mike. Happy New Year, thanks. I agree with you, Mike. First of all, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not here just to defend Doug Peterson, but the Eagles at the time were 4-10-1 football team, and that equals a bad football team. They had bad quarterback play. On Sunday night, they were playing their 6th and 7th or 8th string tackles. They had bad offensive line play, bad receiver play, and they lost the game. If you watch that game, they played poorly. They played bad. They didn't deserve to win that game, even if they did keep Jalen Hurts in. And I got to counter back with the field goal attempt. The Eagles' field goal kicker this year has been horrible. So Doug Peterson went for it on 4th down like he always has been doing. If you watch the Eagles, he goes for 2 a lot. He goes for it on 4th down a lot. And Jalen Hurts had opportunity to get a touchdown, go for a touchdown, but he missed the kid. He puts the backup in, no problem. But I don't think Doug Peterson was out here trying to purposely lose the game. And to go back with Joe Judge, win more than 6 games, man. Like, don't get outscored by almost close to 100 points the entire season. Also, Joe Judge, don't try to fight your offensive line coach at practice. Don't do all these things, and maybe you get in the playoffs. But to depend on a sorry 4-win Eagles team for your chance to go to the playoffs, that's bad logic. Bad logic. The Eagles sat all their starters, Mike. All their starters. They sat their running back. They sat their defensive lineman. They didn't even dress Carson Wentz. You knew where this was going to end up. They were going to lose the game. And the big story here should be, how come the Redskins could only score 20 points on a bunch of backup practice squad DBs and a backup practice squad defensive line? That's all I got to say, man. Happy New Year. Everybody have a great 2021. And Mike, keep up the good work.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, and again, I have no horse in this race. I don't care about the Giants making the playoffs. I don't care, that the Washington football team made the playoffs. I just think it's sort of irresponsible to just assume that a NFL head coach was trying to throw the game by putting in a quarterback when his other quarterback, who, by the way, was a backup quarterback, was struggling. He was struggling. 2 of 8 for 7 yards in the third quarter. Again, it's not like he pulled out, it's not like he pulled out Patrick Mahomes in the third quarter and put in Nate Sudfeld. He pulled out Jalen Hurts, who was having a bad game at the time.
But
bad game. And I've seen many times backup quarterbacks come in. Hell, I covered the Gators when Steve Spurrier put Noah freaking Brandeis in the game, all right? Who's this? Why is Spurrier putting this chubby kid in the game when Doug Johnson is much, much better? Because Noah Brandeis provided a little. Noah Brandeis was Nate Sudfeld. That's who he was. And he provided a spark for a brief time. That's all.
Mike, you're ignoring it. So those are 2 different situations. Number one, that's college, where that happens more often, where he's a young guy, he's up and coming, all that sort of stuff, right? So it's a different story when it comes to that. But the thing you're ignoring here is that in the NFL, tradition speaks to, and we have never seen Doug Peterson be this, I'm going to throw absolutely anybody in kind of coach, okay? But traditionally in the NFL, when a game is close, you go with your starter. You keep your starter in. Is that a fault to the NFL? Maybe, but that is how the NFL works. And for you to ignore
because 2 weeks ago,
if you bring up Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm going to be so mad.
Dolphins were in a close game, and you know what they did? They pulled out their starter and put Ryan Fitzpatrick in.
Is that the rule? Is that normal?
I'm just.
Is it normal?
For a 4-10-1 football team, I don't think there's normal. I think you're just trying to create.
So let me defend Austin for a split second, at least in this example. They pulled Tua to put it back in, the guy who was the starter all season, who had gotten them wins before. He pulled Jalen Hurts out, the guy who was responsible for the 2 touchdowns, the guy who could actually move and survive behind that makeshift offensive line for Nate Sudfeld, not Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has a resume of wins in the NFL. Nate Sudfeld's got none of that. And again, I'm not even mad.
Jalen Hurts has no resume in the NFL either.
Who cares? He's still the starter.
It doesn't matter. They were losing the game, and he was playing terrible.
Mike, would you at least would admit that what Jalen Hurts can do with his legs was probably better suited to win that football game behind that offensive line, because he can escape, make moves with his feet, get first downs with his leg. You will at least admit that because Philadelphia was playing a bunch of makeshift offensive linemen, backup guys. You would at least admit that Jalen Hurts and his ability to be mobile gives them a better chance.
Yes, in hindsight, I will say that. But at the time, as a head football coach,
Doug Peterson knows that for sure.
At the time as a head football coach, I'm just trying to create some sort of spark to get my lethargic, stumbling, bumbling offense moving. And that's why you put in a backup quarterback, and that's what Doug Peterson did. To accuse him of trying to throw a game, I just think is irresponsible, and that's the narrative now, though. He threw the game when he put in Nate freaking Sudfeld when he was trying to actually win the game. All right, sound off next on Open Mic.
Open Mic with Mike Bianchi.
Skill level that he has is certainly John Elway-like.
We'll be back right after this.
I have a Safe Touch consumer alert. It's happening again, guys. Those ding-dong do-it-yourself doorbell cameras, they are having major issues with one well-known doorbell company recalling 350,000 video doorbells due to fire hazard. That's 350,000, not 350, all right? This is why I have a Safe Touch home security system, which, by the way, comes complete with a professionally installed and monitored doorbell camera. You don't have to worry about Safe Touch's video doorbell starting a fire or getting hacked, and it will stop those porch pirates in their tracks. You know what else? You're not really saving any money with these do-it-yourself alarm systems. You're only putting your family in harm's way. Do-it-yourself alarms are designed to be installed by anyone, and that makes them easily hacked and easily bypassed. And what does that do? It leaves your family vulnerable to the creeps and the bad guys. Do what I did. Go to safetouch.com. Get a system you can trust at a price you can afford. That's safetouch.com. State license EF233.
Hey, Magic fans, this is Michael Carter-Williams, and you've come to the right place. FM 96.9 The Game, home of your Orlando Magic.
You know what that music means? It means the sound off is here, and we are getting ready to hear some newsmakers from around the sports world. What do we got, Austin?
Sound off! Sound off! Oh, I got hot. And my teammates found me. And that's really all there is to it. I'm going to continue to put in that work, so it's more nights like that.
We start off with the Orlando Magic. It's Aaron Gordon saying, hey, I just got hot. And let me tell you, he got blazing hot last night. What did he go, 6 of 8 from three-point land? What was that? It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Aaron Gordon played lights out. But, Mike, we've seen him play lights out before. Can he keep it going?
Can he keep it going? He's not going to score 24 every night. Now, if he could keep it going, yeah, then the Magic would have something, because Aaron Gordon has as much athletic ability as probably anybody in the NBA. I mean, the guy's big, he's strong, he can jump. If he could bring this type of effort every night, and Magic fans have been waiting for that, then yes, the Magic would be a middle of the Eastern Conference playoff team. But again, he's been very inconsistent throughout his career. Hopefully he can keep it up.
Sound off! Sound off!
The MRI showed no structural damage. It was a hyperextension, and he saw him in the training room a little while ago. He does very, very little swelling, and he'll be day to day.
Bruce Arians, head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, talking about Mike Evans' injury to his knee, saying he's day-to-day. Maybe he won't play this weekend. Maybe he won't. They're being very coy about it, of course. But obviously, this is fantastic news for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right?
Oh, there's no question about it. You saw the way his knee bent backwards and how scary it was for Mike Evans, and you know how important he is to that offense. The fact that he may even go this week is such a huge win for this football team, because the relationship between Tom Brady and Antonio Brown, now they're on the same page. You keep Mike Evans in the mix as well. It gives. I mean, the Bucs are going to need both those guys if they're going to advance in the playoffs past one game. So the fact that he didn't blow out his knee is very important for the Bucs.
Sound off! Sound off!
The rumor of Urban Meyer, obviously, I've known Urban over the years through Big Ten and what have you, but we've not spoken to anyone about this job or obviously interviewed him. I mean, this is something, it's just, made the decision this morning. So, there's, and I'll leave it at that.
Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, talking about the rumors that Urban Meyer is set to be the next coach of the Jaguars. And reportedly, he wants $12 million a year to be the coach for this team. Mike, you've said pay him whatever he wants. Are you really sure about that?
Absolutely, I'm sure. The Jacksonville, the Urban, and again, you're when you're the Jaguars, nothing is certain, all right? Nothing is certain. I'm not saying that Urban Meyer is a sure thing cinch to be a winning coach in the NFL, but you know what? The Jaguars have gone the assistant route. They've gone the proven head NFL coach route, all right? Mike Mularkey, Doug Marrone, Jack Del. They've gone through a litany. Why not hire a coach who is one of the most dynamic, dominant winners in the history of modern era of college football? Urban Meyer is still a relatively young man. Urban Meyer has won at every stop. He's won 3 national championships. Probably could have won 4 if there was a fair college football playoff system, because that Utah team he coached back in 2004 was dominant as well. Urban Meyer can win in the NFL. He can motivate players. He would be a splash, and he would be a success in Jacksonville.
Sound off! Sound off!
I said it once I got here. I want to be a Jet for life. I love the people here. I love living here, and I want to turn this thing around. I believe that we can. There's going to be a lot of work involved in that, and we all know it's a process. And like I said, I mean, we got great people in the organization, great people in the locker room. You know, it's a work in progress, but I definitely want to stay here. You know, hopefully for the rest of my career.
Sam Darnold, quarterback of the New York Jets, for now at least, saying he wants to be a Jet for life. Do you think that's a good idea, Adam?
For him or the Jets?
Both?
Well, again, they're going to have the second pick in the draft, so they're going to have the option to take whoever's left on the board. And I just can't imagine that they won't go with a quarterback there, or at the very least, entertain a whole lot of teams that want to move up for that pick if they feel that if they feel that Sam Darnold can be an NFL quarterback with some pieces around him. I mean, that's for the Jets to figure out. I think he's better than he's looked, but is he an NFL franchise quarterback? It certainly doesn't look like that at this point.
Sound off. That's the sound off for today.
That is the sound off. Straight ahead, we're going to get into more Urban Meyer talk, some Dan Mullen talk. That's coming your way next on Open Mic.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah. More Open Mic in minutes.
I was reading the newspaper yesterday, and yes, I saw COVID cases still spiking around the country. If you're looking for peace of mind, if you're an employer and you're looking for a safe and a healthy workplace, let me tell you about my good friends at Healthy Cells Wellness. They are a trusted advocate for employers to provide COVID-19 and COVID antibody testing in a calm, organized environment at your work site. That's right. They come to you, whether you're in Orlando, Jacksonville, doesn't matter. They will come to you. No more waiting in line with other people. And if you act now, your insurance company could reimburse your company for the total cost of these tests. Act now, mention my name, get a free COVID-19 test. You can find them at healthycellswellness.com. That's healthycellswellness.com.
to put the pedal to the floor. It's loud and live and local. Oh, time for open mic.
Welcome back to Open Mic. I am Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel, joined as always by Adam Reardon, the deceptive intellect, and of course Austin Pastolka, the Sultan of Sound.
Yeah.
Together we are Open Mic, the troika of sports talk radio excellence in Orlando and in Jacksonville. Give us a call, 407-916-8255. You can tweet us at 96.9 The Game or at The Game Jacks. You can also text us on our Academy Sports and Outdoors text line 50857. Your next chance at $1,000. The dash for cash, we're calling it, is 8:10 a.m. this morning. You know, the holidays are over. The bills are piling up. It's time to make a dash for cash, and we've got your chance to win $1,000 12 times per day. Listen for the keyword, then text that word in to 200 for your chance at $1,000. The contest starts at 7:10 each weekday morning right here on this very station, then 11 more times throughout the day, 7:10 a.m., 8:10 a.m., 9:10 a.m. Make an appointment. We call it appointment radio. Why is that? Because we are kind-hearted and we want you to win money. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
That's the
Austin?
official story. Absolutely.
I'm not supposed to say, hey, if you make an appointment, our ratings go up.
No.
And they're
what?
No?
That's just a happy byproduct. Listen, we will gladly take the ratings. However, we're here for you. We're here for the people. I'm looking into the camera right now. We're here for you.
Okay. I want to say something real quick. All right. So earlier in the show, I want you guys never to allow me to do this again on Open Mic. All right. I want you guys to never allow me to spend 2 segments talking about Nate Sudfeld, all right, and whether he should have been yanked out of the game or put into the game in place of Jalen Hurts. Do you realize we spent 2 segments talking about Nate Sudfeld and Jalen Hurts?
Well, it's more about the integrity of the game for me. You know?
Is that what it was?
That's to me is, we're running the risk of disrespecting the game.
Yeah, well, never allow me to disrespect this radio show again by spending 2 segments.
That was radio gold. I'm putting that up as podcast, brother. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
if we have segments like
that'll get a lot of clicks. That'll get a lot of clicks.
It absolutely will.
Okay. All right. That'll get a lot of clicks. Us talking about 2 teams that we really don't know much about and quarterbacks who are bad.
But we know what's going on there, and it's disrespectful. We even had a caller for that segment, Mike. What do you mean?
Lord. Yeah, we had the lone Eagles fan in town listening to us at the time. We appreciate the call. All right, give me a little Orlando Magic music, please. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Whoa, 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 whoa. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Yeah. I'll be well. Gonna get you. Hey, the Orlando Magic last night, a big win, 103-83 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Aaron Gordon, what got into him last night? He scores a season-high 24 points, 13 he scored in the decisive third quarter as the Magic win that game. Here's what it sounded like last night at the Amway Center.
Gordon with daylight. They got to be thinking, we saw the scouting report. He was 3 for 20 coming into the game. Aaron Gordon is 6 of 8 tonight from beyond the three-point line. Vucevic on the trail. Drills it for 3. Well, that's nice. Vooch and Fultz have a really good feel for that trail 3 for Nikola.
Aaron Gordon was great. Bruce played another really good game, but the other guy who was obviously terrific was Ken Burch. Protecting the paint, traffic rebounding, and again, another great screening game. And in the second half, I thought he was really terrific.
Steve Clifford, Magic coach, who, by the way, will join us at 8:15 this morning, talking about what happened during the game and lauding Kim Birch, who had 12 points, had a career-high 12 rebounds. I love Kim Birch, all right? Kim Birch, and again, he's a journeyman. I understand that. But Kim Birch, you know, was it last week we were talking about, you know, I think we were talking about, I'm sorry, not last week, but before the Christmas break, we were talking about Antonio Callaway, and this guy has all the talent in the world, and he's just wasted it away, frittered it away by bad decisions. Kim Birch is the antithesis of Antonio Callaway. Kim Birch is a guy nobody really gave a chance to, doesn't have the most ability. He's one of those guys who's made himself into an NBA player. Mo Bamba, who, by the way, there was a Mo Bamba sighting last night. Mo Bamba was the 6th overall pick in the draft 3 years ago, a lottery pick. Guess what? Mo Bamba can't beat out Kim Birch, even though Mo Bamba has a lot more athletic ability than Kim Birch, all right? I love guys like Kim Birch. I mean, you look at his – Austin, Google Kim Birch's resume, all right? Google Kim Birch's resume and tell me some of the teams he played for before he made it into the NBA, all right? Because the guy has just – He floated around. He was in the G League for a while. I don't even know where he went to college. Did he go to Pitt?
I'm looking it up right now.
Look up Kim Birch. Again, I love the guy. I love to watch him play. He plays hard. When he gets in the game, he's diving. He's playing hard. You can just tell it means something
He went to
him.
Pitt and UNLV.
Okay. Was he even drafted? Was he drafted?
I don't know. No, not according to his page.
And he played for, give me some teams he's played for.
He's only played for the Orlando Magic in the NBA.
No, I'm not talking about NBA teams. I'm talking about.
He's looking for like the Gongju Dragons of the Chinese basketball league.
Yeah. Here we go.
The Olympiacos.
Yeah, Olympiacos. He played for them.
Oh, I just guessed that.
USAC Sportif. He played for the Sioux Falls Skyforce. All right. He's played for the Lakeland Magic. All right. So this guy has been around the world playing basketball and working his ass off to make it to the NBA. That's why I have no patience for guys who have great talent. Guys who have great talent and don't work at it, because guys like Kim Birch who don't have great talent, they work at it. You know what else I like about Kim Birch? Evidently, he's a push-up warrior. He can do push-ups like nobody else except for the Bulldog. All right? He does his push-ups.
Wait, what?
Push-ups like the Bulldog and Herschel Walker.
Yeah, does his push-ups. Absolutely.
That's elite company.
Adam, you're a high school soccer coach. Austin, you're a high school wrestling coach. Do you have anybody on your team that resembles Kim Birch, and do you wish you had more of them?
I absolutely know that I have two guys on the team that are fantastic, hardworking, that are not necessarily the most talented, but they work really hard and they are going to get somewhere. The best part is they're underclassmen.
Yeah, I mean, I got some that work real hard. I don't know where. I don't know how high their ceiling actually is. I mean, look, this guy's in the NBA. So I got some hard workers. But yeah, for me, it's I've got my Nick Vucevic. And
I also have my fair share of Mo Bambas, though, that are like, they're super talented, but seem to have wasted away their talent. Just saying. Hey, if you're listening and you're on our wrestling team, get to work.
Yeah, we by the way, as much as I love Kim Birch, Mo Bamba again played for about 4 minutes last night, had a couple of rebounds and an assist. Mo Bamba needs to beat out Kim Birch this year. At some point during the season, Mo Bamba needs to beat out Kim Birch. All right, that needs to happen at some point.
That's a pretty low bar for a guy who is a top 10 pick. Beat out the guy who we got from Olympiacos.
Right? But still, I mean, if Mo Bamba could get to the point where he could beat out Kim Birch, at least, and again, I don't know how he looks in practice. I don't know how he's progressing and developing, but at least that would be progress if he were to beat out Kim Birch. All right? Let's pause real quick for station identification.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2 Cocoa Beach, W245CL Deltona. This is FM 96.9, The Game.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
It's TV time on Open Mic.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Let's hear from Fox 35's own Adam Shadoff.
Adam Shadoff, you can catch him every night on the Fox 35 Sports Zone about 11:30 p.m. They take a deep dive into all the sports happenings in Central Florida, and I'm looking forward, Adam Shadoff, to when you guys do your profile on the great Kim Birch on the Fox 35 Sports Zone, because I love Kim Birch.
I like Kim Birch, Bianchi. I think it's a great story of a guy who absolutely, I heard what you guys are saying there, who's just absolutely worked terribly hard to make the most out of every opportunity and every chance he's getting it now. Good for Kim Birch.
Absolutely good for Kim Birch. Do you agree with me, though, that Mo Bamba, who played for the first time last night, needs to beat out Kim Birch as the backup center this year?
Well, yeah, obviously, and I don't have any doubt that that's going to happen. I mean, Mo Bamba is obviously a more talented player, and the way that things were headed before he got hurt, he was headed towards that direction for sure. So, yeah, that needs to happen, and it's going to happen.
Well, again, we'll see if it's going to happen. Mo Bamba's got to want it, and I'm not saying he doesn't have the desire to do it, but he has to crank up that motor, because Kim Birch's motor is running, high RPM at all times, and Mo Bamba needs to get his motor running at that sort of RPM if he expects to beat out the great Kim Birch. Adam Shadoff.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mo Bamba, I worry about him because this COVID thing is very scary. I mean, we're talking about a professional athlete, super fit, who
had
COVID, and now it's it took him months to come back from that, fully recovered. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is, especially when you see what obviously what's happened, at Florida with their great player, their great basketball player, Keontae Johnson. So yeah, when you have COVID and maybe there are some side effects at that we don't even know about. All right, let's do the shout out with Shadoff, shall we?
Shout it out from the rooftop. Woo-hoo! It's time for the Shadoff shout out.
Here we go, the Shadoff shout out, brought to you by Frank Gay Services. When you have a plumbing or electrical problem, you need help now. Go to frankgayservices.com. We start off with the Open Mic thought-provoking daily poll. Should Jacksonville Jaguars pay Urban Meyer the reported $12 million a year he is seeking to come out of retirement? Yes or no, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you read my column in the Orlando Sentinel today. I said they should have hired Urban Meyer a decade ago. All right? The Jaguars need Urban Meyer, not just because he's a splashy hire, but because the guy knows how to win. He knows how to motivate players. The Jaguars shouldn't just pay him $12 million. If he wants 15, pay him that. Urban Meyer is that good. I don't like Urban Meyer, but he is a hell of a football coach, and I think he'd be a hell of an NFL coach as well.
I'm going to agree with Bianchi. Go ahead and pay him. Let me just spend some of Shad Khan's money right now, because $12 million a year for Shad Khan, that's not going to make a difference in his pocketbook. Honestly, I agree with Bianchi. I don't think Urban Meyer's. I'm not sure about him as a person either, just like Bianchi, but I think he's a hell of a football coach, and I know that the college to NFL route doesn't really work out very often, but I feel like this is a situation where it might work out.
With 53% of the vote, yes wins this one. They should pay the man. Supplemental poll number 1, which of these NFL coaching openings is the most attractive? Jaguars, Jets, Chargers, or Texans? Adam.
I think it's the Jaguars, and I think it's for a number of reasons. One, they have the number 1 overall pick, which means they can get Trevor Lawrence if they think he's the best guy right now. They have a ton of salary cap room. They have an owner who is potentially willing to spend a lot of money. They do have a number of skilled young guys. They were the youngest team, I believe, in the NFL this year. And there's a bunch of promising young guys. It's just that they're everywhere. That's going to eventually change in a couple of years when they become veterans. Jacksonville is the best spot right now for a coach in the league.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Adam. Adam Reardon said earlier this morning that Urban Meyer likes to pick and choose where he takes coaching jobs because he likes good situations where he can win immediately. I think the Jacksonville job, I'm not saying he's going to win the Super Bowl in his first year, but I think Urban Meyer is smart, and I think he knows all the things Adam just said, the $81 million in salary cap space, the 4 draft picks and the first 50 draft choices this year. I think Urban Meyer knows all that, and that's why he's interested in the Jaguars job as opposed to some other jobs.
43% of the vote says the Jacksonville Jaguars. Second place is the Chargers with 35% of the vote. Supplemental poll number 2. Did you believe the false report yesterday about Gators coach Dan Mullen interviewing for the Atlanta Falcons job? Yes or no, Mike?
Well, I did because I came on Kravitz's show yesterday at 4 o'clock, and he reported it to me that he was, that Dan Mullen was going to interview for the Falcons job. Turns out that was a fake Twitter account, faking the Twitter account of a beat reporter for the Atlanta Falcons. So, yes, I believed it because Kravitz made me.
I read it also, and I believed it for a little bit also. I mean, this happens all the time, but the thing about all these reports is that even from the verified accounts and the legit journalists, you've got to take everything with a grain of salt because there's agents playing teams. There's teams feeding disinformation. And all this stuff is craziness. So I take everything with a grain of salt.
One of the reasons I did believe it, though, not just because Kravitz recited it to me, is because I think Dan Mullen is not really all that happy right now at the University of Florida. So that's another reason I believed it.
Wow, Bianchi.
Just saying.
With 79% of the vote, apparently our audience is pretty smart. No, they didn't believe it for a damn second.
Okay, right.
Supplemental poll number 3. Who will win the Heisman Trophy tonight? Mac Jones, Devonta Smith, Kyle Trask, or Trevor Lawrence? Adam.
I think it's going to be Devonta Smith, which I'm okay with. Although I think that Kyle Trask's numbers are Heisman Trophy numbers, and they'll never give it to him because he lost too many games because that's how the Heisman Trophy committee is. But I think his numbers deserve it. But I'm also cool with an Alabama receiver who is an absolute beast and has been so key to them. What he did in the SEC championship game it's really impressive the season he's had.
Now, before Adam Reardon told me this morning that Vegas is predicting Devonta Smith to win it in a landslide, and the odds are way in Devonta Smith's favor, I thought it was going to be Mac Jones, the Alabama quarterback. But because Vegas says Devonta Smith, I'm going with Vegas because they're rarely wrong. I'm going Devonta Smith.
With 56% of the vote, Devonta Smith wins this one. Supplemental poll number 4. Are you with Mike Bianchi, who wonders if it's possible to buy groceries at Publix with Bitcoins? Are you saying yes and asking the question, is it possible? Or no, Bitcoin, Schmidtcoin? I was close. I know you thought I said it, but there's an M in there.
I'm
confused. Mike, explain yourself with this.
What's happening here, Bianchi?
I was my daughter who knows about this stuff. I was asking her, how do I get some Bitcoins? All right, because I wanted to go. I wanted to have some Bitcoins to have as money and deposit them in the bank and all. And she goes, there are no actual coins. And I was confused about that, and I thought they were actually like made of metal, like silver coins or gold coins.
Oh my!
That's so funny.
But that's not right. Is that correct?
And you also don't deposit them in the bank because not dealing with the bank is the entire idea of crypto.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure about that.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you're looking for some Bitcoin, by the way, Mike, you can. I think it's like it was up to like 30 grand the other day. If you can get.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about it, because I wanted just a few Bitcoins.
Yeah, a few.
I'll take a couple Bitcoins. Anyone handing out Bitcoins around here? This poll doesn't make a ton of sense, but no, Bitcoin Schmidtcoin wins this one with 86% of the vote. And finally, the open mic Would You Rather poll. Would you rather have comically large feet or a comically large head? Adam.
Oh, I got to go with feet for sure because it's easier to hide. I actually have a friend who was one of the groomsmen in my wedding who has a borderline comically large head. And believe me, all my buddies, we let him know about it virtually every time we see him or hang out with him. And it's got to just eat this guy. But I don't really know if any of my buddies have any comically large feet. So I think you got to go with feet. You can hide them. It's easier that way. But head, it's just out in the open for everyone to mock you forever.
I know two guys who have big pot roast head. All right. One of them is David Lamb, radio guy in Jacksonville. And the other is Pat Lynch, who does the morning show on WJRR, Lynch and Taco. He has a big pot roast head as well. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with comically large feet because you know what they say about guys with big feet.
There we go. I knew where this was going the moment I thought of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Big socks. Giant socks. 89% of the vote says giant feet. And that is the shout-off shout-out brought to you by Frank Gay Services. A live operator is waiting for you, and a licensed plumber is ready to help today with a solution to your problem fast. That's the Frank Gay way, frankgayservices.com.
I have humongous feet, okay?
Oh, gosh.
Sure you do, Bianchi. Sure you do.
All right, we're going to have Steve Clifford coming your way, head coach of the Orlando Magic. Adam, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you guys.
Steve Clifford next on Open Mic.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword SMILE to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation
So our practices don't involve much contact, where usually early in the year it would. So we're trying to find every way, and he's doing a good job with it, that he can improve his conditioning, even if it's one-on-one, two-on-two, besides, just in the weight room and running and practice involvement. So I thought the fact that he got on the floor last night was a good positive and hopefully something we can build on.
We really appreciate Orlando Magic coach Steve Clifford joining us right here on Open Mic. Austin, you had a question?
Yeah, Coach. So this team is obviously very similar to last year. Not a lot of new guys in the system, but can you talk about Cole Anthony, Dwayne Bacon, some of the new guys on the team, and how they've impacted the team so far?
Yeah, I thought our management group, the front office, did a great job with. As you guys know, we didn't have a ton of money for potential, free agent signings, and the things that we have, that we struggled with last year were, driving the ball into the paint, ways to get the ball into the paint to play inside out. And basketball has changed, obviously, over the years. But the one thing that remains constant is you've got to be able to hit the paint. There has to be penetration, whether it's a drive and kick, a pick and roll, a cut, a post move, whatever it is. And with Cole, with Dwayne, and with Chuma, as they get comfortable and as they have gain a better grasp of what we're doing, I believe all three of those guys can help in that area significantly. And I think that you're seeing it. Unfortunately, obviously, Chuma's out right now, but he'll be back. But I think you're seeing it little by little with both Cole and Dwayne. And again, as they get more acclimated to what we're doing, and for Cole, it's just being, learning the NBA game. I think they can both help in the areas that we needed it the most. So I think that those guys can make a significant difference in our team.
Coach, you just talked about Chuma. Obviously, you've had some health issues over the last couple of years, some injury issues on your team. I'm just wondering, how frustrating is it as a coach for you to rarely have your full allotment of players, or is that normal?
Yeah, I think this year it looks like it's going to happen more, just because of the condensed schedule. It is frustrating. I can't lie. Yesterday, we got down shoot around, and they're playing 2-on-2 at one basket, and then Al Farouk Aminu and James Ennis are shooting at another basket, and then Jonathan Isaac is doing his rehab in the weight room. And, obviously those guys, if we had everyone, it's a different talent level. And yet, Mike, as you know, this league is all about, playing as well as you can, coming up with a way as a group that you can play well. And we have more than enough talent so that if guys are locked in, and we commit to a way to play that on a given night we're good enough to beat anybody. And, that's what everybody has to lock in on.
Coach, real quick, a couple of other guys. Aaron Gordon had a nice game last night, scored a season-best 24 points, shot the ball really well. Has he reached his ceiling, or can he become much better?
I actually think he is getting better and better. I've been very pleased with what, from 2 years ago till now. He hasn't offensively, he hasn't played as well until last night, but a big part of that is, he's had this lingering, hamstring type injury, so he's been limited in minutes, and it's also hurt how much extra he's been able to do. He's always been a guy that's done a lot of extra shooting and everything, and last night was the first time that he was able to play more minutes, so he's just finding his rhythm. He has been, to this point, though, defensively, he's been terrific. But in terms of, to me, his overall play, efficiency and play at both ends of the floor, he's made good gains in the 2+ years that we've been here together.
Last one, Markelle Fultz. Obviously, Magic fans very excited about him, as I'm sure you are. What are you seeing from him and his development?
Oh, I think Markel's going to have a big year. and he's smart. He's tough. He's a very good competitor. But I say this all the time just because it's how I feel. He plays like a DC point guard to me. I recruited that area for a long time when I was in college. He's been taught from a young age how to organize a team, how to run a team. When you talk to him, he's always thinking about, what play should be run next. This guy hasn't had the ball for a while. He'll come over during the game and say, hey, what do you think about this play for Evan, for AG, for Booch, whatever? They haven't had a shot for a while. Not many younger players think that way. I think, again, he's a guy that the guys like to play with because he can both score, but he plays for his teammates. And I think in our league, the best players that I've been around, they do both. We had Tracy McGrady after he left here in Houston, and he had led the NBA in scoring, I believe, twice. And yet the thing that you noticed about him initially, right away in practice was he made the right play. He played to make the right play, and Markel has that same mindset.
Coach, last one. Everybody knows you're a European soccer fan. What do you think about the resurgence of Manchester U?
Oh, they had a big win the other day. Liverpool lost yesterday, so we're tied for first. And we have a huge game Wednesday afternoon in one of the cups against Man City. So, it's amazing. Even with 11 guys out there, it was a struggle for a couple of years. And then, they made the move and they got Bruno Fernandes. And he's the playmaker that has changed everything. So, that's when I'm not watching film, that's kind of my hobby. But I love the Red Devils, and you know what? It looks like they're on their way back.
Coach Steve Clifford, head coach of the Orlando Magic. Coach, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Let's keep it going tomorrow night. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Clifford. What about that? He knew all the Manchester U players, Reardon.
Yeah, that's impressive. I know he's a United guy. Me being a City guy, they actually play. They play coming up, this weekend?
Yeah.
Or is that today? Or tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
Big match.
I got a lot of respect for Steve Clifford, but I'm pulling against this squad tomorrow night.
All right, Mark Daniels and the Bridge coming